exemplary.
So happy to know, so happy to know. So I'm Yashaswi Shroff. I'm the third generation business owner of Alco Creative, managing director. If you could just introduce yourselves.
My name is Bhaskar Manju.
What do you do,
Staying in
sir?
South City Garden. I'm an educational consultant for the last 30 years.
Educational consultant.
Right.
Okay.
I was with many educational companies.
Most noble profession, if anyone is there in the education industry.
In vocational training, computer education, this management and all.
So nice to know.
तो आपका ये प्रोजेक्ट तो बहुत ही अच्छा लगा मतलब बोलने के and you are maintaining in such a way. We are staying in South City Garden.
Right. वहाँ पे डैमेज साउथ भी हम लोग ही बनाया हुआ है.
अच्छा. So we booked in South City Garden in the year 2005 and we got a position in the year 2010.
Okay.
From 10 onwards we are staying there.
Okay.
So lot of problems are also there in maintenance and all. So we are facing that. So what we are discussing that main cause is to the total operations after the handover the flat. That is more required.
Right.
उसके पहले तो South City Garden जो promises किया they had done it. लेकिन जब we are trying to maintaining it, we are not doing that way. Only in papers and in just WhatsApp group. So we are not getting the proper results. So that is more
Painful.
painful.
What about you?
I'm a housewife.
Okay. Your name, ma'am?
Papri Gamli.
Okay. Great. So you are looking to buy a new property as a second home or as to relocate?
No, second no. Retirement no.
After seeing the project, I wanted him to relocate, but he said no.
पूरा कलकत्ता छोड़ देना भी मुश्किल है.
काम आपका पूरा वहीं पे है.
हाँ काम है मतलब फिर एक ना मतलब.
And my parents are also there. They are also getting.
They are staying in Hajra.
Just staying out.
तो एक 1 BHK थोड़ा मतलब weekend spend करना and this view and all. आप जितना अच्छा बनाए हैं जो ऐड किए हैं very encouraging. So let's see what God decides. Lord Jagannath.
ऊपर वाला ही करवाता है सब काम.
So totally depending on Lord Jagannath, let's what he decides.
Any other thoughts in your mind? Any questions or anything that you would like to discuss?
She was also an engineer.
Acha.
She had worked for.
I worked with Mr. Agarwal, J.P. Agarwal.
Acha, okay.
Yeah.
My grandfather and him have been long associated.
And NT Relators का जो शेडवुड का project है, he did the.
शेडवुड वाला कौन सा?
Another.
Acha. So he was architect there.
He was architect.
And you were part of that project, yeah?
Not at that time, but before that, I worked with him in VIP Road, Club Town and all that.
So then why did you leave interior design?
After marriage, everything changed.
Acha, after marriage. And what about kids?
I have a son.
How old is he?
He is 24 years old.
What is he doing?
He did his history graduation from Bhawanipur. Then he went to Oxford. And he completed MSc.
भवानीपुर से Oxford. I don't know ऐसा कोई और आदमी किया होगा. So he's in Oxford right now doing his masters.
He has completed with distinction from Oxford. So he is planning for further studies. Right now he
और
is
PhD program interested for PhD program.
जीन्स तो आप ही का गया है ना.
ऐसा बात नहीं.
तो मैं थोड़ा सा आप लोग का you have about half an hour time.
Yeah.
Yes sir.
So I will just set the intention of today's meeting, sir. We did a research where we found out that about 83% of home buyers in India are not aware of the parameters that they must be knowing before they make such a big financial decision in their life. And because they are not aware, the decision does not happen correctly, and later on the regret comes in that I did not make the right decision. But by that time it is too late, and you really can't do anything about that. Because of which I have made it my life's own personal mission now that I want to educate as many home buyers in India as possible, whether you are buying a 20 lakh flat or a 1 crore flat or a 5 crore flat, about some of the unknown sutras that you must be aware of before you make that such a big financial decision in your life. For that, I have made a presentation which I would like to showcase to you. You can see my screen now.
Yeah.
So these are the 18 unknown sutras that you must be aware of before buying your dream home. Bypass all headaches of research using a scientific approach. zero worry about financial planning, and make the right decision first time for your lifetime. I have 5 big promises to you through this presentation. Number 1, of course, I'll tell you about those 18 unknown sutras which no other builder will dare to share with you. Number 2, you will know the real root cause why about 67% of the home buyers feel cheated, because when they buy a property, they have certain expectations, or maybe the builder miscommits, or sometimes the communication is not made in such a way and you get wrong expectations and you don't feel fulfilled later on. You can save hundreds of your own hours in doing your right research. What are the right check sheets and questions that you must ask any builder before you buy a property? And I guarantee you 100% that you will know your needs and aspirations with 10 times more clarity, such that you make the decision correctly and don't regret it later on. Who is this presentation meant for? If you're planning to buy a first dream home for yourself, so that you can give your children the childhood that maybe you could not have. Or if you're planning to buy a second weekend vacation home like yourselves, or some people in the younger years also now planning to buy a future retirement home. A little bit about my company's legacy, sir. So this is my granddad, Mr. Shroff, and he started this company about 43 years ago, 1981, is when he did his first project. And from him we have learned this culture that no matter what industry you operate on, whether it's the education industry, real estate, or whatever it is very important to stay directly connected to your customers. And that is why me and my entire team spends a lot of hours in directly interacting with the customers to get to know their secret desires, needs, fears, aspirations. In Forbes, we were featured, which is a leading magazine, about me, my dad and granddad, how 3 generations are working together and forming this legacy and taking it forward. A little bit about me. I'm India's first home mind scientist. Now, it's the first term that you must be aware of, you must be getting to know first time in your life. But I call myself a home mind scientist. Why? 2 reasons. Number 1, as I said from my granddad, I have learned to directly stay connected to my customers, and that is what I do. And because I spend hundreds of hours with them, I really can feel the pulse of the buyer, interacting with them during each stage of the buyer's journey, and I can identify their secret desires, needs, fears, which even consciously you may not be aware of. And scientist, because I love to experiment and innovate. With changing times, you need to adapt yourself, and scientists are coming with experimental if they succeed or not. That's for a home mind scientist. I'm also authoring a book known as 18 Unknown Sutras, because such meetings is limited. I cannot have with everyone, and that is my mission. So if I can educate everyone through that book, and Desh Bhar mein agar wo book release ho jaye, so people, no matter which city or locality they are in, they will be aware of those sutras. I am a member of CREDAI Bengal and CREDAI India. CREDAI is a Real Estate Developers Association body, and I happen to be the senior managing committee member in Bengal. I'm just 33 years old, and therefore I'm leading CREDAI Youth Wing Eastern Zone. There are 5 states which come under me. I happen to be the creator and executor of Kolkata's first tallest tower, that is the 42 Chowdhury. This is our architect, Hafiz Contractor, a Padma Bhushan awardee and the best residential architect of India. And his association with us has been since 3 decades. He's done Siddhartha building on Alipur with us, 42 he did with us, New Kolkata is doing with us. And he says that Alipur means trust, zero compromise and zero delays. By God's grace, me as an individual and my company over the years have won many recognitions. And I'm not saying this to boast about myself, there's no requirement for me to do that, but we are unknown to each other. Just the way you introduced yourself, it is important. I tell you about me so that you get to know me better. So I got this 40 under 40 award last year. We got many awards from Economic Times and many other companies. This was the most iconic moment of my life. In 2018, when we casted the last floor and the highest point of Kolkata at 250 meters, 62nd floor. So we are posing over here with 6 and 2 me with the project manager. And you can see Victoria Race Course in the background. So this was and I will remember this till my last breath, this moment. Various panel discussions happens across the nation where I'm invited to talk about it from my experience. What impact have we created in the last 4 decades? We have served more than 10,000 customers. We have delivered more than 35 projects across 1.5 crore square feet. In fact, Diamond Group was founded by us. It was a consortium body, but there were 2 or 3 other partners. That is when we did Diamond City South, West, and North. There are 3 generations of trust and 100 years of experience. Now, you might think that a 33-year-old guy talking about 100 years of experience, but
it's a family legacy.
Absolutely. So I come from a business Marwari family, And since childhood, सोते जागते खाते पीते हम लोग खाली business का ही बात किया, so that's what ingrained in my blood and DNA. And Dadaji's experience about 60 years, Dad is about 30 and me is about 10. So anyone asks me how long I've been working for, I say I've been working for the last 100 years because I'm just learning from them and building on top of that. हमारा driving factor क्या है Alcove में? We are in the business of building happy communities. So this project, a 5,000 flat complex, we will finish in the next 1.5 to 2 years and move on to our next project. But we want to build a happy community so that people who are going to live here, they are going to live for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 decades. Their children are going to be born here, grandchildren are going to be born here. So if a happy community is formed, then that is what really, that is the real desire inside my heart. Last year, many developers from Calcutta, PS Group, Modern Group, Orbit Group, Sugam Group, and many others came here to see that how we conceived this project. Today there are maybe 2 or 3 other projects on Ganges, but in 2018 when we launched it, it was the first project on Ganges, such a large township project. So they had come to see how we are doing the scale of development, which was unheard of in Calcutta, in such a fast time, where we have delivered our first phase 21 months before our committed timeline, despite 2 years of COVID in between. And at the same time, we are being able to offer so many things at such a reasonable price. So that was a training done by me last year. प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना was a central government scheme, तो उसे भी हमें recognize किया गया था. These are my parents receiving that award from the central minister. Many more awards we have received. On social media, if you go on Google, Facebook, YouTube, you'll be able to see what our customers talk about us. And जैसे मैंने कहा, I spent hundreds of hours with customers, so many pain points I identified, which are listed down here. And on these only, I thought that I should have that education mission and come up with those sutras. So my entire intention is how I can help you and how I can be a part of your growth journey. So would you be interested to know about those unknown sutras before you make a proper decision, no matter where you buy? Sutra number 1 is you should know the real minds behind the project. Real minds माने कि number 1, know your builder. Not just the builder logo or an Alcove, not just the logo, but go behind the builder. What is his team like? What is his mission? The way I said what is my mission? रेरा में आज आप देख सकते हो कि पास्ट में उसका क्या ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड रहा है, उसने जो भी कमिट किया है क्या वो टाइम पे उस क्वालिटी में डिलीवर किया है कि नहीं किया है, उसका कोई अनरिजॉल्व कंप्लेंट्स रेरा वेबसाइट पे उसके अगेंस्ट में है या नहीं है. सिमिलरली सेकंड पॉइंट इज आर्किटेक्ट. आर्किटेक्ट का भी क्या बैकग्राउंड है, क्या लेगेसी है, क्या मिशन है. फॉर एग्जांपल आवर आर्किटेक्ट हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर इज अबाउट 75 years old today. Every 6 to 12 months he has a meeting with PM Modi ji about how he can develop railway line.
नहीं, उसके लिए तो आपका प्रोजेक्ट लेके तो मतलब no one should.
No, it's not about my project. I'm not here. I'm not here to sell my project. I'm here to aid you in your home buying decision so that you make it correctly no matter where you invest. And what are the questions you should ask or you should find out. Project consultants all भी रहते हैं, like fire safety, electrical, plumbing, which is MEP, landscape, structural. Again, their background, their mission, their experience. Number 2, project hidden charges. So no matter which project you go to, people have different type of charges. Number 1, so whenever you're buying a property, it's such a joyous moment of your life. You will never think about cancelling that property when you're buying it. But कल का दिन तो कोई देखा नहीं है. It may so happen there's a financial emergency or some medical situation or whatever be the reason that you need to cancel the flat. On day 0 you should ask your salesman कि भाई मैं अगर कैंसिल करूँगी मेरे को अपना पूरा रुपया मिलेगा वापस या उसमें कोई कैंसिलेशन चार्ज है. अच्छा कैंसिलेशन चार्ज है तो रिमेनिंग अगर हमको कट के वापस मिलेगा तो वो कितना दिन में मिलेगा, 1 महीना में मिलेगा कि 1 साल में मिलेगा कि क्या करना है. ये आता नहीं है नॉर्मली लोगों का दिमाग. Similarly, there are many other charges which is levied by different projects, different developers, such as extra development charges, club charges, maintenance deposit, interest charges based on different intervals. GST का भी अलग scheme है, 1%, 0%, 5%, 18%. Premier location charges, floor rise charges. What normally happens is, and this is not just in real estate, in any industry, हर आदमी को अपना सेल का टारगेट फुलफिल करना पड़ता है. जिनको भी अपना सेल का टारगेट फुलफिल करना है, मेरे को भी करना है, उनको भी करना है. सेल ना लूज हो, कस्टमर को बांधने के चक्कर में मैं बता दूंगा ये फ्लैट 100 रुपया का है. मे बी इट्स फॉर हार्डली 105 बट आई शो ओनली 100. धीरे धीरे करके 1 रुपया आना लेना चालू किया. बट दैट इज मिस सेलिंग एंड लेटर ऑन इट डिस्टर्ब्स द कंज्यूमर्स फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग, स्पेशली इन सच अ हाई टिकट वैल्यू purchase. So for example, today if you were to ask any of them that this is a flat that I have liked, he will transparently show you the entire pricing and you won't get a single complaint later on that 1 रुपया मेरे से बाद में extra मांगा जा रहा है. This is not what I expected. So you should ask the builder on day one कि भाई तुम्हारा कितना charges हमको बता दो, such that there is no surprise to me tomorrow. If I can afford it and I like it, I will buy. If I can't afford it, I will tell you, no problem. पर बहुत बार शर्म में लोग पूछता नहीं है, करता नहीं है, सामने वाला बताता नहीं तो अननोन में रह जाता है.
बस फिर बाद में
there's a bad blood. Project community most important and that is our mission also. So number one, people. कभी भी कोई आदमी आता है प्रोजेक्ट में तो देखता है फैसिलिटी क्या है, व्यू क्या है, रूम का लेआउट क्या है, बट ये लोग पूछता नहीं कि क्या टाइप का लोग वहाँ पे रह रहे हैं.
वो हम घुसते सोच रहे थे what type of people are buying.
सोचना क्यों, पूछना है. आज आप इससे पूछेंगे तो ये एकदम बताएंगे कि नहीं.
नहीं he is guiding us.
बट लोग ये सोचते नजर आते हैं, पूछता नहीं है, पूछने के बाद पता नहीं चलता है क्या. टुडे I am going to work, my missus is going to be home, or my children is going to be home. They are going to be raised up there, so they should be in a good community so that their gelling happens well. They are able to spend time at home well. Second point is basic necessities. Project के अगल बगल में क्या है, काफ़ी चीज़ देखते हैं, काफ़ी चीज़ नहीं देखते हैं, like grocery store, school, hospital, entertainment, beauty parlors, special occasion के लिए कोई banquet या hotel है कि नहीं, जैसे हमारे यहाँ पे त्रिवेणी में, sure you must be aware of. Temples, I just overheard आप लोग जगन्नाथ मंदिर का बात कर रहे थे अभी.
वहाँ क्या इस पे सिनेमा भी हो रहा है?
Yes. We are about to sign up with PVR items. Project में construction technology क्या use किया गया है to construct the building? We should ask about that. For example, our windows, fire doors, everything we are doing in-house manufacturing so that we are able to control our cost and get good quality. Our shuttering is all aluminium shuttering. We're not doing brick walls; it's all concrete walls. So less moisture content and more durable strength. Project जब conceive किया गया था, design philosophy किया था. Before any project is made, a meeting happens between the architect and the builder. जैसे यहाँ पे me and phase contractor met and we said, यहाँ पे गंगा घाट ऐसा बनाना है कि वहाँ पे कोई भी आदमी बैठे तो टाइम का उसको महसूस ही नहीं होगा, डिस्टेंस में चला जाए. आप यहाँ पे बैठोगे, I guarantee you 2 घंटा कैसे निकल जाएगा पता नहीं चलेगा. Number 2, वो आदमी को महसूस ही नहीं हो कि वो कलकत्ता में है. He should feel he's sitting in a Banaras or Rishikesh.
Exactly.
So that is what we envision and that is what we have built. Such a big project with 5,000 flats, we want to ensure almost each flat gets the river view. From each flat, each bathroom, room and kitchen should have natural ventilation because our idea was to make compact flats so that it's more affordable, more people can enjoy it, more common man can enjoy it. At the same time, if it's a 1,000 square feet flat, the energy which comes into the flat should be 5,000 square feet. So that can happen with the large French windows which we are giving. So what was the design philosophy behind the project? पूछता नहीं लोग, हम लोग बताने का मौका नहीं मिलता, खो जाता है. But what is the story behind the project? सीलन सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम, मिल जाएगा चकाचक, 1 साल 2 साल बाद सीलन का हटा है. एल्यूमिनियम शटरिंग यूज करता है तो उससे मॉइस्चर कंटेंट कम होता है. वाटर प्रूफिंग क्या कंपनी का यूज किया,
वो टाइल्स फिर होता है जो
भूल जाता है,
वही है.
तो हम लोग क्योंकि इतना कस्टमर से इंतजार करता है, सीखते हैं. ऐसा नहीं हम लोग ये गलती नहीं किया, लेकिन गलती किया, सीखा, आगे बढ़ा. And I know till my last breath I will not be perfect because ऊपर वाला किसी को perfect नहीं बनाया. But I know my today is better than yesterday and tomorrow will be better than today. We are always on an excellent pursuit of excellence. वैसे similarly what type of materials are we using internally or externally? जैसे हम लोग bathroom fittings use कर रहे हैं तो Jaguar जैसा use कर रहा है. Even though we are selling flats at 40, 50, 60 lakh segment. प्रोजेक्ट का क्वालिटी प्रोसेस क्या है, मैनेजमेंट क्वालिटी मैनेजमेंट प्रोसेस फॉर इनवर्ट मटेरियल्स. जब हैंडओवर देगा तो कैसे हैंडओवर दिया जाएगा, उसका क्वालिटी चेक्स क्या किया जाएगा. लॉट ऑफ पीपल केयर अबाउट द एनवायरनमेंट, दे डोंट. बट फॉर एग्जांपल वी आर IGBC प्लैटिनम रेटेड सर्टिफाइड बिल्डिंग व्हिच इज द हाईएस्ट रेटिंग इन ग्रीन सर्टिफिकेशन, व्हिच मींस आवर वाटर कंजर्वेशन, एनर्जी कंजर्वेशन, वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट इज ऑफ दैट ग्रेड दैट वी हैव गॉट द सर्टिफिकेशन. ऑल द मटेरियल्स बीइंग यूज्ड टू मेक आवर मटेरियल्स आर ग्रीन, टू मेक आवर बिल्डिंग इज ग्रीन फ्रेंडली. सेफ्टी, कंस्ट्रक्शन सेफ्टी कैसा है, आपका लेबर का वेलफेयर कैसे किया जाता है. होम बायर्स डोंट केयर अबाउट दैट बट आई बिलीव इन कर्मा. अगर आपका घर बनाने में कोई लेबर का नुकसान हुआ हुआ है, that karma gets attached to your house and that will haunt the person who stays there and who makes it. So I'm proud to say 2,000 laborers are working on site today. Since 6 years you've seen the developments that we have done. Not even a single incident, accident or death has taken place in that construction. And if you go out, you'll see each and every laborer has a topi on his thing, has a safety jacket, has a safety shoe. Then when you ultimately stay here, what are the safety services there? What is done in terms of fire safety, CCTV, access control system, MyGate app, lift safety. जैसे ARD हम लोग लिफ्ट में लगाया है कि कोई भी लोड शेडिंग या पावर कट हो तो ऑटोमेटिकली नेक्स्ट फ्लोर में आके फ्लोर में गेट खुल जाता है. प्रोजेक्ट का लॉन्ग टर्म हेल्थ, you will relate to this point more than anyone else, depending on the background that you had given. HOTO mechanism क्या है? HOTO मतलब hand over take over. That happens in two levels. One is at the project common area level, and number two is at the buyer flat level. I'll talk about that later. Strong knowledge handed over to FM agency. At South City Garden में एक maintenance agency होगा जो maintenance कर रहा है. उसको knowledge hand over कैसे मिल रहा है? Selection of right FM agency कौन manage कर रहा है? Warranties और AMCs कैसे manage करना है? The questions you must ask is this: what initiative is taken by the builder to onboard an FM agency before occupancy to ensure smooth knowledge handover and good long-term health of the project? And FM agency जो onboard है उसका background क्या है? So for example, because we learned so much the issues that you have faced, some of the people have faced similar issues in our older projects as well. Now what we are doing is all our projects we are bringing on board the FM agency 6 to 8 months prior to the handover. दो कारण उसमें दो benefit है. एक सिलेक्शन ऑफ FM एजेंसी मेरा हाथ में रहता है, सोसाइटी का हाथ में नहीं रहता, और मेरा इंटरेस्ट है लॉन्ग टर्म हैप्पी कम्युनिटी. सो आई विल चूज व्हाटएवर इज बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द कम्युनिटी इन टर्म्स ऑफ सर्विस एंड कॉस्ट. तो राइट आदमी का सिलेक्शन हो जाता है. दूसरा, क्योंकि 6 महीना पहले आता है बिफोर कंप्लीशन, all the handovers happen directly from the builder to the maintenance agency and there is no communication gap. So जितना warranties है, AMCs है, STP है, lift है, generator है, they get to know everything directly from me. If he is the FM agency, I hand over everything directly to him. ये तो बीच में हम पहले आपको देगा, आप लोग वो ट्रेड का आदमी नहीं, आप लोग टेक्निकल आदमी नहीं, हमें 1 रुपया देगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ नॉलेज, आपको 50 पैसा रिसीव होगा, आप उसको देगा, उस तक 25 पैसा ही पहुँचेगा. और क्योंकि उस तक पूरा नॉलेज गया नहीं, मेंटेनेंस इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट मनी. कैन चार्जेस 2 रुपया 3 रुपया 4 रुपया देते जा रहा है, फिर भी देख रहा है कुछ नहीं हो रहा है कुछ, बिकॉज दैट नॉलेज इज मिसिंग और द स्किल इज मिसिंग.
हम पे भी किए हैं, हम लोग के अंदर कुछ काम ही नहीं हो रहा है, टोटल मतलब वेस्टेज है, ड्रेन हो गया भाई. ये सफरिंग है.
हम लोग 6-8 महीना पहले लाते हैं, उसका खर्चा हम लोग का 80-90 लाख रुपया लगता है. देयर इज नो नीड ऑफ दैट, नो वन आस्क फॉर दैट, बट वी डू इट बिकॉज 20 साल लॉन्ग टर्म है तो प्रोजेक्ट अगर अच्छा रहेगा उसके लिए 80 लाख इज नथिंग फॉर मी. Then quantity and quality of amenities. Rather than focusing on quantity of amenities, you should focus on quality of amenities. What is it as a family that you require, and the way that you require, is it really there that way? Project environment कैसा है, उसके बगल में AQI index क्या है, साउंड का क्या, पूजा का टाइम हुआ या इलेक्शन का टाइम हुआ तो भोंपू रोज बजेगा कि नहीं बजेगा, जहाँ पे कोई भोंपू का सीन नहीं है. वाटर का क्वालिटी क्या है. Not that I am selling my project, but I am just giving you a perspective. What is in it for your children, elders and pets? अब pets का 2 टाइप का होता है, pet loving, pet hating. जो pet loving होता है वो ऐसा pet loving होता है कि शादी का कार्ड भी आता है तो pet का नाम उसमें लिखा हुआ रहता है, ऐसा फैमिली में. और जो pet hating है वो मतलब 2 किलोमीटर दूर भागता है. So we understood that इतना बड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स है, 5000 फैमिली रहेगा तो there will be both kinds of people. Therefore we did a pet park in the project. तो उसके लिए
सामने ना
दिखा देगा कोई.
उनका असल में पेट है तो
अच्छा आपका है? Which dog? Okay, I also have 3 dogs. So I'm also pet lover. So there's a pet park here. If you come over here, if you bang the second, you come along with your pets. In fact, प्रयाग में इनको घुमाइएगा जो pet park हम लोग बनाया है, वो भी दिखाएगा तो वो देख पाएंगे और यहाँ पे तो प्लान में भी दिखा पाएंगे.
अरे अभी वहाँ हमारे यहाँ क्या बोलते हैं कॉम्प्लेक्स में ऐसे रोड स्ट्रीट डॉग्स कुछ आदमी पाल के रखे हैं, वो मैंने क्या गलती कर ली कि बस सब उसको पालना पड़ा.
नहीं वो क्या कर रहा है, स्ट्रीट डॉग से फाइन, बट दे आर अटैकिंग द जनरल public and also the dogs. I usually don't take my dog there in South City Garden because of that. तो फाइन पेट पार्क है.
पेट पार्क है प्लस जो आदमी को हेट करता है, there are families who do that. अब 5000 फैमिली रहेगा तो there will be people like you and me who love pets. मॉर्निंग वॉक में इवनिंग वॉक में लेके जाएगा, कुत्ता लोग तो पॉटी सुसु भी करेगा, बट पीपल जिसको पसंद नहीं है उसकी तो वो न्यूसेंस है. We are creating the poop zones where the potty does. You can pick it up.
I usually pick up. I use the scooper. Even on road I use the scooper.
But we are creating special potty zones also.
That's
where you can just put it in the car. So very small points, but we have learned that over time.
These are the main thing, yeah.
Small points, but very important. प्रोजेक्ट ओपन एरियाज, ये खाली जानना जरूरी नहीं है कि 50% 70% कितना ओपन एरिया, हाउ आर यू यूटिलाइजिंग दैट ओपन एरिया. आज हमारा पोडियम में इट्स ऑलमोस्ट 2.5 लाख स्क्वायर फीट, बट वी आर डूइंग 3 or 4 टाइप्स ऑफ फाउंटेन्स, वी आर डूइंग वाटर बॉडीज देयर, वी आर डूइंग अ सुपर्ब लैंडस्केपिंग देयर. प्रोजेक्ट वर्टिकल कम्युनिकेशन यानी कि लिफ्ट, स्पेशली हाई राइज में मोर देन 10 फ्लोर्स में, क्वेश्चन यू शुड आस्क इज मैं बटन दबाऊंगा कितना देर में लिफ्ट आ जाएगा, नॉट हाउ मेनी लिफ्ट्स आर देयर, नॉट व्हाट इज द स्पीड ऑफ द लिफ्ट, व्हाट यू रियली केयर अबाउट मेरा वेटिंग टाइम कितना, दैट यू शुड आस्क. ये मैंने हालांकि पहले बोल दिया ऑलरेडी, बट अगेन कि एनर्जी लेवल्स, वास्तु लेवल्स कैसा है, कैन आई सी एंजॉय सनराइज सनसेट या पूर्णिमा सेटिंग फ्रॉम माय बेड, व्हाट इज द काइंड ऑफ व्यूज आई कैन एंजॉय फ्रॉम माय फ्लैट. Comparative project checklist. Today you are in the market to buy a second home for yourself, so you have a certain budget in your mind, you have certain requirements in your mind. But if you were to have an Excel sheet in front of you where you can put down all the things that you need and 2 or 3 projects that you go to A, B and C, if you can score or do a tick across there, that becomes so easy the decision making process. तो जो आदमी बढ़िया से आपको बेचा, top of the mind में रहा, तो सब मन माफ नहीं, लेकिन you become a data driven decision then. Easy points, simple points. I don't know कहीं दिमाग का बत्ती कुछ जल रहा है कि नहीं.
नहीं, लेकिन यही मेन है.
Yeah.
We are focusing on the main thing.
Yeah.
ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन हम उनसे भी किए हैं जो मतलब लॉन्ग टर्म में रहने के लिए जो लगता है.
Great. Approved bankers list. Whenever anyone's buying a home, you either buy through your own FD or savings, or you take a home loan. But even if you're buying through your own savings, you should ask which bankers have approved the project. Why? Because as a common man, it is impossible for you to assess the compliances of the project. But the more number of banks and the more conservative banks like an SBI or HDFC, if they have approved the project, that means आपका risk उसमें उतना कम है. क्या टाइप का पार्किंग है, ओपन है कि कवर्ड है, EV चार्जिंग फैसिलिटीज है कि नहीं, ये सब जो लोग पूछते हैं, लास्ट पॉइंट किसी का दिमाग में नहीं आता नॉर्मली. व्हाट इज द 2 व्हीलर एंड 4 व्हीलर कार केयर फैसिलिटीज. कि मानिए आप सेकंड होम के लिए यहाँ पे लिया और एक पार्किंग भी लिया, तो आपकी एक गाड़ी यहाँ पे पड़ा रहा, 2 महीना में एक बार आ रहा है, अब जो 2 महीना बाद आएगा कबूतरों का सब दही जमा हो रहेगा ऊपर में. बट व्हाट इफ देयर इज अ कार वॉश फैसिलिटी कि अपने आप वहाँ पे पड़ा हुआ रहा और आपका मेगर अमाउंट एक लग रहा है और हफ्ता में 2 दिन आदमी अपने आके सब चीज फैसिलिटी और सर्विस दे दे रहे हैं. स्मॉल पॉइंट्स बट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
वही तो एक गाड़ी वहाँ पड़ा हुआ है, बोल रहे थे ना कितना गंदा हो गया पड़ा.
हाँ, अब इट इज अ हेडेक ना, कराओ करो आदमी करो, ये इट्स नॉट अबाउट द कॉस्ट, इट्स नॉट अबाउट द कॉस्ट, इट्स अबाउट द हेडेक. वैल्यू एड ऑन सर्विसेज. अच्छा, ये अब घर कोई आदमी हमेशा तो लेता नहीं है, साल पूरा लाइफ में एक बार या 2 बार लेता है, तो आपका मानिए आज बजट 50 लाख रुपया है, आप एक घर लेता है, उसका घर मिल गया, फिर इंटीरियर कराना है. अब इंटीरियर का ज़्यादा आइडिया नहीं है, तो उसमें टाइम मनी एनर्जी तीनों बहुत इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ेगा. मैम जाएगा, उसका बढ़िया किचन यूटेंसिल्स नया लाएगा, माइक्रोवेव ओवन लाएगा, फ्रिज लाएगा, जगह जगह जाके. बट इज द डेवलपर टाइंग अप विद द ग्रेट ईस्टर्न और AC company so that you get single point of contact, you just have to call them and the developer has negotiated on your behalf and said कि भाई मेरा प्रोजेक्ट के लिए ये प्राइस है, रिटेल से कम 5% या 10% कम देना है. So your time, money and energy, everything can be saved, and we are in the process of doing that as we speak. Your financial planning, what are the income tax benefits in terms of capital gain exemptions, in terms of ETC home loan deductions, how will you get the tax certificates? A lot of people are not aware of their home loan eligibility, कि हमको इतना सैलरी है या इतना बिजनेस इनकम है तो हमको कितना होम लोन मिल सकता है, क्या टेन्योर का मिल सकता है. Sometimes there are a lot of hidden financial charges which the bank levies, which our salesman can help you to remove that, break that, because we are aware of that. RERA के हिसाब से what are your commitments, not your commitments, sorry, what are the builder's commitments in case that is not fulfilled, how you can compare and reach out to RERA to get your commitments fulfilled. Project's financial appreciation, although you may not be taking it as an investment, but say 10 years, 15 years down the road you wish to upgrade and sell out this unit. If the long term health of the building is good, if there is a happy community, you will always appreciate. भाड़ा में भी लगाना चाहे तो भाड़ा भी अच्छा मिलेगा, because supply demand will always be there. Post sales CRM services, from the moment you book to the moment you get it, how is your post sales CRM going to be handled? You should ask this at the time of booking. Will there be an online customer portal where I can see everything that I need to when it comes to construction updates or any payment ledgers, demand bills, any of that? जब हैंडओवर टेक ओवर होगा फ्लैट का, मैं जो पहले बोल रहा था, तो क्या वो सिंपली आपका लास्ट 10% एक मनी बाकी आपको दिया, हमको डीड में साइनिंग हुआ और आपको चाबी दे दिया, इज दैट प्रोसेस? और लाइक हाउ वी हैव maybe an 8 to 10 page buyer manual. We give you a 2-hour training on your home when we hand over that to you. ये गोदरेज का लॉक इसको सेफ्टी ऐसे करना है, जैगवार का बाथरूम फिटिंग, दिस इज योर पर्सनलाइज्ड वारंटी कार्ड, अगर कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आई